Late night. Oh, got the mute on. That's not going to help anything. All right. Hopefully you hear me now. Jesus Christmas Christ. Late night key feed here doing the podcast thing. Hope everybody's good. I'm very tired. I took a nap when I came home. Was on earlier today with an earlier live stream about Exodus, and now we're doing the rock and metal news show late here. But I wanted to get it in and not leave it for tomorrow and disappoint the fans. But I definitely needed a nap when I got home from my trip. So welcome if you're here. If if you're watching on the replay, cool. If you're catching up in real time, it's late at night, so I don't know that our real ones are watching. But if anybody's around, say hey, say what's up. The best experience for this is YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. We're also hanging out on TikTok. Could be the last weekend of TikTok. I had predicted in an earlier live stream last weekend that I think TikTok is actually going to get saved at the 11th hour and not go out of business. So if you are watching on TikTok, cool. If you're worried it's not going to be here anymore, DM us where you want to be followed and we'll follow you there. We probably would like to be followed on YouTube and Instagram because those are our best two channels anyway. But yeah, we're doing the thing. Rock and Metal News. If you're here on Twitch, thanks for being here. We're appreciative of you. We will follow you back. So let us dispense with the pleasantries after like a minute of silence because my mute button was sticking. And let's do the thing. Appreciate y'all, whoever's here. A lot of TikTokers popping in. Appreciate you. And, like I said, it's late. Wasn't the planned time. I knew I couldn't go on till almost midnight or after. Had to take a little midnight Pacific. Had to take a little nappy poo and rest my eyes because I am one tired mofo. After this show's over, I'm going to bed. Cell Arts is here. What up, Cell Arts? Pass by. Like some of your stuff earlier on social media. Great to see you. Everybody go follow Black Angelus on YouTube and other social media. Jose Castillo's here. Zetor Dukes, we did a whole podcast on it, how people feel about the change. I was definitely in my feelings about it. I also love both vocalists. It's a super hard job. The Ed and Fuzz show is also here. It's a super hard job to sing in Exodus because, first of all, the original singer Paul cast such a huge shadow. So go back when you're done watching this. You can go check out that live stream we did earlier, and give us your thoughts in the comments. Don USA is here. Nora's here. Yep, on YouTube is the best place to watch that replay. I might do a short clip over the weekend on TikTok. I don't think TikTok's going away. So if you're here, I appreciate you. Give us a follow if you like rock and metal. We're your place to be. But anyway, I just finished Skeleton Crew on Disney Plus. I don't know if you guys are Star Wars nerds. I'm a Star Wars nerd, and I absolutely loved it. I know some people didn't like it, or I can't speak to ratings. It's like metalheads. Nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. It's super annoying. Grok is here. Kuzmina is here. The Polish dude 12 is here. Piper, Rigu, Curious Raven, Janice. So yeah, I did a little graphic of me holding a lightsaber. Unfortunately, you TikTokers can't see it, but everybody else is seeing me wielding a lightsaber because I'm a fucking nerd. I'm going to drink a little Liquid Death. I got a brand new flavor I've never had before. I have no idea if I'm going to like this. Grapefruit, which I assume has grapefruit, which I don't like. So Keefe, trying things I dislike. In addition to these live streams and album reviews and interviews with huge bands and some smaller bands, we also do product reviews and taste test videos and things like that. I recently did the Kitty non-alcoholic beer. I don't drink non-alcoholic beer usually, but I actually enjoyed the beer. You can go check out that video. And we did a commercial for Liquid Death, actually. You can still watch. That's a lot of fun. And watch me dump a whole Liquid Death on myself. Battle vest and all. There's the pop. A little cheers to you, grapefruit. I hope this doesn't suck. It's late at night. I don't want to have some foul shit in my mouth. I need refreshment while I do the show. All right, it wasn't horrible. All right, grapefruit. I've never had this before. I definitely avoided getting it. It definitely has a grapefruit flavor, but it also has like a citrusy and a lime thing happening. That's not disgusting, thankfully. Ruben Villarreal is here. He's been here before. Thank you, Ruben. Appreciate you. Terry is here. Terry 26. So yeah, all right, not terrible. I'm good. I had like a backup of water here just in case also. Where to put the can is the question. All right, there's where the can goes. All right. Let's get this show on the road because it's late at night and I got shit to do. San Francisco never sleeps. It's probably going to be noisy. Of course, you know, I'm in Northern California, not Southern California, but obviously our thoughts are with our friends and bands and peers and all the common folk in Southern California. If you are affected or you want to donate to those affected, we have a link in our description that you can help, I think, pretty much anywhere. And there's some other resources we've been sharing all week. This is from Music Cares with a Music Cares email. If you're a musician affected by this, Ghost Cult has some staff in the area. Some shows have been canceled, obviously, this week because of it. We have some pretty big news about a humongous band that postponed a big tour announcement out of respect for everybody and themselves for being in the LA area. We'll talk about that in a second. So, yeah. You know, our thoughts are with those folks. No, not fucking great. A great situation. I have personally been through several disasters and things like that, and it's no fun. Usually the fire season is not this time of the year. It's the wet season. It's winter here, and it's coldest here and wettest here. And we normally have the fire season up here, San Francisco. It's normally the summer here for us where there's fires, and they're not. I'm back in home in San Francisco. Normally the fires are north of San Francisco and Sacramento, but they do affect us. So we'll see. Man, tough one. We lost a lot of heroes this week. This is a real head scratcher. David Lynch passed away today. Apparently he had cancer for the last year. We did not know. Yeah, Late Night Gabe. What up, Late Night Keefe? Congratulations on your new album, Gabe. We'll talk about that if you end up hanging out late into the show. Very sad about David Lynch. David Lynch had a humongous impact on my personal life as a artist, as a creator. Tony's here. What up, Tony? You should be in bed, bro. Hope you're okay. Good to see you. I haven't been to any shows this year, and probably my first show will be in the Bay Area will be Decapitated. Maybe I'll make it to another show. I'm not sure. Yeah, man, sad about David Lynch. I've been away for the last week, and the text messages have been building up. This was today. A lot of tributes paid to David Lynch, man. So, and a huge impact on just the avant-garde world and the music world and the metal world and the rock world. Guy was a genius. Literally, Twin Peaks changed my whole life. Blue Velvet is one of my favorite movies. I mean, so much stuff is because of him. This picture is with Mike Patton and him. You know that Patton's different groups have paid tribute to David Lynch before on record and live. This is another one, man. Peter Forrest, P. Fluid of 24/7 Spies and Black Vampires was horribly murdered in New York City, in my hometown of the Bronx, New York. And this story is another one that'll just shake you your core. Peter was found in an ambulance, tied up and murdered in a pool of blood. Horrible. Abandoned and like Jesus, you know? Just crazy. 24/7 Spies, super inspirational band when I was coming up in New York City, and Black Vampires is a more recent sort of gothy, flamboyant rock band. You know, rest in power to P. Fluid. This is another real heartbreaker. This is Wayne Fabra. Wayne Fabra, you might know best from bands like Necrophagia and Christ Inversion with Philip Anselmo and the late Killjoy, but also Wayne was a pinnacle early NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana metal scene guy who was a great drummer, thunderous, heavy drummer to go with his imposing, striking figure. And he really, he played actually originally in Graveyard Rodeo, which is the first band of Pepper Keenan, later of Corrosion of Conformity. Now, we have some COC news later. We found out through tributes to him and his family posted on his personal account that he had died. I think he was 49 years old. Not an old guy by any means, but he had been in the scene since he was a teenager. He was basically friends with Exorder and I Hate God and Phil Anselmo and Crowbar. These were all his friends. So very sad that they lost a member of their community. We haven't heard about anything like a GoFundMe or anything for his services, but if anything pops up, we will let you know. What's Up is here. Fuller is here. Albert is here. Vori is here. I appreciate everybody passing through. Feel free to show some love. Von Count, Terry, again, still here. Feel free to give us some hearts or whatever that is on TikTok. As long as we're here, we might as well keep using the platform. And yeah, there's more of these, right? Man, this one will also break you to your core a little bit, man. I had this open. Yeah, Jack Hoffman. I'm sorry, Jack Hoffman. If you're a sports fan, especially college football, you might remember Jack Hoffman 11 years ago as a little boy, running for a 63-yard touchdown at the Nebraska spring game. It was like a Make-A-Wish type of thing. He's from Nebraska, is a big Cornhuskers fan. They let him run past the whole defense for a touchdown, and he celebrated, and it'll just give you life. This kid was diagnosed with cancer as a 5-year-old and was given no shot to live, and he died this week at 19. So it was like a very viral sensation. If you just look up Jack Hoffman touchdown Nebraska spring game, it'll come right up on YouTube. It's got like millions of hits. He was an inspiration. He continued to, raise funds and awareness about cancers. And yeah, what again, just tragedy of tragedies on that one. Real tough. But appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you for watching. And then Bob Uecker. Probably most of you are not old enough to remember the Miller Lite commercials of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Bob Uecker originally was a catcher for the Milwaukee Brewers in baseball. He was pretty nondescript, but he ended up as their announcer and a huge sports personality. And he used to do like the chainsaw when they won. He'd do this movement. Yeah, he'd do that when they won the Brewers. And his famous catchphrase was like, "I must be in the front row," and he'd be in the top of the ballpark. And like that, he didn't get any respect, kind of like a Henny Youngman. Great personality in terms of baseball announcers, and just sad, just another sad loss. He had cancer apparently for a few years. Brewers put out a very nice statement about him being one of their legends, and very sad. Very sad. I'm sad when people pass away from music or pop culture. It definitely affects me. And once again, this show and every show is dedicated to our friend Sonia Ramos. Sonia Shredder on Instagram. She's a guitar luthier from Florida. She's battling late-stage cancer. I'm just trying to raise awareness of her GoFundMe to make her quality of life better. Popped up on Instagram stories a few weeks back. Nightgoat is here. What up? LG Petrov, bro, Entombed, such a vital band, an important band in the history of death metal. And LG, I'd interviewed him just a few years earlier. He was really cool. And he had like a very advanced cancer that just took him, and there was no treating it. And how they did GoFundMe for him. He had Entombed AD. They had tribute concerts for him to raise funds, and it was just one of these things where they caught it too late, and he was, it ran through him. Horrible. Horrible, man. You had made a shirt with his image and the words "fuck cancer." That's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Nightgoat, man. Great to see you here. Appreciate you. I like your namesake. I'm up late. You're up late. I had not planned it. I've been going to bed early. Not really early. I don't know if people know I struggle with insomnia. I have some new night meds coming up for Blair is here. What's up, Reza? Late Night with Keefe. Late Night with the Devil. It's a pretty good movie. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, the Melvins reference, man. So anyway, shout out to Sonia. We're still pulling for you. And again, we're also raising money for our friend Abe Allen of Fine Chamois Records. You've seen us do we did a charity comp with Fine Chamois, supporting the Teamsters of San Francisco. I'm friends with this guy. He's in my circle of people here in the Bay Area. He's a good guy. He had some recent struggles and problems. You can read the details of the GoFundMe in the link in our description. We're just trying to raise some awareness and some money for his fundraiser. Even if you can't donate to any of these fundraisers, feel free to share. We appreciate it. And then on some lighter news, we're still trying to get our favorite metal-loving dog in San Francisco, Sainthood. That is Django. Here he is with Necro Butcher, getting ready to go kill Euronymous, or go get an ice cream or a puppuccino or something. We're just trying to get signatures for Django to get sainthood from the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, because we are nothing if not silly and like fun things. And if you don't like fun things, you go fuck off, because the world is a dumpster fire and we need to have some fun right now. So that link is also in a lot of our descriptions to sign up and support Django. Here's the fundraiser. Look how cute he is. Come on. And then, hey, I got a new band. I started a new band. I am singing for a brand new band in San Francisco called Angst. There are many bands called Angst. If you want to go support us, we're on all the social things at Angst Music SF. But yeah, it's going to be hardcore. It's going to be thrash. It's going to be rock. I'm back in the saddle as a vocalist. I may yet pick up back the bass. I have not touched a bass guitar in 5 years, but it's very Measure of Control is here. It's very possible I will pick up the bass as well. But as for now, you have Angst Music SF. No music yet. We got a rehearsal, I hope, this weekend or early next week. And I have been out of the game for a very long time. Thanks, man. I need to do stuff that's fun outside of this, because, like, real talk, I have not been doing well. I'm doing a little bit better since the year turned over. 24 was terrible. 25 is looking good. And I'm just trying to reopen that creative energy, that creative spark that I used to have. So thank you. I'll let you know how it goes. We're going to share some music. We're going to share some philosophy. It's going to be political. So Rage Against the Machine, Darkest Hour kind of vein, lyrically, and I don't know, vocally, we'll see what we're doing. I definitely got my confidence up enough to sing again. And like I said, I am looking to transform. I have a personal YouTube channel that's not Ghost Cult. That's kind of like the Ghost Cult Keefe YouTube. And I think I'm going to put some of my karaoke jams that I've recorded up there for my Monday night karaoke at the San Francisco Eagle and some other places. And I may be hosting a karaoke night soon, sponsored by Ghost Cult. That's another fun thing we're talking about here. So I'm just trying to have a little more of a social life, because I just can't do this shit 24/7. I gotta break away. But anyway, that's my logo for now. That's our band. Speaking truth to power. That's important to me. And it may not be for everybody, but we'll see. It's gonna be pretty hard. We're gonna go hard with my homies. And then there's just a photo. I spent the last week and a half back where I used to live in the East Bay, pet sitting, and I had a really great time, and it was really comforting. Scooter's here way late at night. Hey, Scooter, sorry I'm going on so late, but I was mentioning at the top of the show I had to come home and take a nap. Tony, was there a show there tonight? I don't think you're an Eagle regular. I don't know if there was a show tonight. I hadn't seen any flyers or anything, and I was out of town, so I missed karaoke on Monday there. But I'll be back Monday for a lot of metal karaoke and other things. I was trying to do one 80s song, try to do one 90s song, and then as the night goes on, I do heavier and heavier music. And the book there they have shows. That's right. Well, I didn't know with Mike passing away if they were going to keep doing shows, but I know other people can book the shows there. Wags is a pal. But anyway, this is a picture from the trail up in Fairfield, California, where I was residing for the last week, and really relaxing. And like I said, I'm kind of on a year ago at this time, I was in the hospital. I'm due for a physical soon. Fenno Gior is here. What up, Fenno? A year ago at this time, I was hospitalized. I had a lot of personal health problems. Since then, I had a lot of personal problems and mental health problems. So I'm really on a journey in 2025 to kind of ground myself, get help, get well. and do things for me for the, get back to the joy of life, not just kind of this empty existence that we all seem to have a lot. So, follow me on that journey. I'm going to talk about some real shit. I talked about some real feelings. When I'm not feeling great or good, I let you know. When I'm happy, peppy, and bursting with love, I let you know. But yeah, I got to get out and touch some grass, and I walked by Mount Diablo in the distance, and I was like, is it a butt or is it two boobs? I can't tell. But this is a pretty picture, and took 2 long walks. My doctor wants me to take 3 long walks a week as I try to lose some more weight and get my mind right. So wish me luck. I need it. And just a reminder, we have a newsletter. We moved over to Substack because MailChimp's a pain in the ass. We're on all the socials. We just hit 1,000 followers on Blue Sky. Seems like a lot of people are gravitating to Blue Sky. Seems with TikTok in jeopardy, like I said, I predict that it's not going to go anywhere. But with TikTok in jeopardy, I know a lot of people went over to Red Note, and I checked out Red Note and I wasn't loving it that much, but we're on all the things. If you're on all the things, feel free to follow us. We'll follow you back. Jack Humphrey's here. You've been here before. Ms. Beans is here. Neff is here. Aloha State is here. Alex is here. Loretta. Thanks for everybody being here. Scooter, yep. Yo, Scooter knows. Scooter knows all too well. All too well. And, maybe there was a time when I was younger, I was like, I'm ashamed. I don't want to talk about what I'm feeling like. And now I do. So, you can't keep it in. Auntie Mosby's, I absolutely can send you an invite to Blue Sky right after I get off this thing. We'll see how late this goes. I got to get some sleep. I slept in a little today. I had responsibilities for like 7 days about the pets. And then today I was still up north, and I slept in a little bit and got a ride home tonight. Went to dinner with my pal whose pets I was setting, my friend Rebecca, which I greatly appreciate, and a really nice Mexican dinner. And she dropped me off here, and I unpacked and set back up the studio. If you saw the live streams this week, it was in different places. You'll see some interviews I did while I was up there. So we're on all the things. And again, like I said, people are tired of all the things, but we're on them if you want to be on them with us. And of course, we're on Discord and Reddit too. So time for some features. Let's rock and roll and blast through this. Features this week, just a reminder, we are still rolling out our 2024 coverage. I'm going to do my 2024 albums of the year post before I go to bed. It's done. The video is shot. There's a website post that needs to go live. Finally, I've been promising this thing. We've had guest posts all week. Really cool people. Names you would know. Jamie of I Declare War. Sam from Frozen Soul. Jeremy Kling of Overkill and Inhuman Condition. I mean, we've had some big names contribute some guest posts. We got some staff posts still to roll out. And you can check out our 2024 countdown from 75 to 1. Our album of the year is voted on by our staff. Was Knocked Loose. You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to on Pure Noise Records. Kind of surprised me. We've never really had a hardcore adjacent band be the #1 album of the year for us. It's always been some very purely metal band. So, I think it's actually really cool. It's really cool. Also, like I said, guest posts, that's a thing. Staff post is a thing. And then, we dropped some premieres this week as labels and publicists are coming back. And, everybody's been really kind. Again, I'm not in Southern California. I'm in Northern California. But, people are being very gentle about pitching. Like, hey, if you can't support this thing, let us know. Somebody else was supposed to support us and they're displaced from their home because they evacuated. Could you help? So we did a few premieres this week just to help out some publicists and labels we like. So this is Pillow Prints from Oakland, a shoegazy band. Shoegaze is kind of like the hot thing in indie rock right now. And they dropped their new single and Mercurial, and their new EP is coming. So I think that's like a super cool band to watch. I may even possibly do an interview with them or set up one of our staff to do an interview. I found this band to be really interesting and super cool introspective lyrics and music, kind of like not quite a post rock, but definitely a shoegazy indie rock thing that I liked a lot. I was like, this is maybe not the most typical music you expect to get from Ghost Cult, but I rather liked it. And I like when things are Atypical. This is the Amatory Murder, and they dropped a cover. We've had David Bowie on the mind a lot lately with both his birthday and the anniversary of his passing last week. So Amatory Murder dropped a cover of I'm Afraid of Americans. Great song, very apropos song for the moment right now in America. David Bowie track and killer cover. So they've been playing this live. It's on their recent EP. And so they dropped a lyric video of the song. I wonder eventually if they'll drop a music video. But cool band, very cool band. And this photo was shot by a ghost cultist, Kim Hansen of Kim Hansen Photography. You can follow her on the gram at Pharmadiver. Very cool person, good friend of mine. Also, Graveslave dropped a vocal playthrough video for one of their new songs, Brutal Band. And I was really glad to connect with them and do this through their management. So super fun band. Also, thanks to Blabbermouth for sharing. Occasionally they share our stuff and other people pick it up too. That's Tom Angel Ripper of Sodom. Sodom put out their remaster reissue of their classic 1992 thrash metal anthem album, Tapping the Vein, recently. And I had a really great interview with him, and he's really, in addition to detailing that remaster and reissue, he talked about some very deep music industry stuff that I don't think a lot of people talk about. He talked about his vision for the band this year, that he's kind of slowing down a little bit in terms of touring. And if he kind of monitors himself and takes good care of himself, he could do more touring in the future. So Tom's a beast and a legend. And we met once before. I never really interviewed him. It was really nice. Really humble guy. No need to be that humble. Sodom is one of the greatest thrash metal bands in the world. Historically, they have, 40 years, just about the same time length as Creator and other bands. So, man, this I was really shocked. This Grapefruit is not bad. I thought I was going to not like it. I'm going to kill off these banners. You know where it goes, cultman.com. And I'm going to share share some of the comments. Tony, my homie in real life, Gabe, a friend and a great artist with a new album out today. Congrats. And I will invite you to Blue Sky, buddy. What else did we do this week? We've been doing some live streams. So we did a live stream earlier today from where I was before about Zetro versus Dukes and why this happened, and maybe the potential connection between problems with Exodus and problems with Death Angel and Kerry King. Kerry King's music career may be interfering with two other bands. We talked about why. All we can do is speculate. No comments yet have been made. And, maybe there had to be some healing because Dukes left he was fired unceremoniously. He saved their skin 2 decades ago when Zetro quit unexpectedly. They had to do a whole tour with fill-ins. And then, they bumped Dukes to get back in Zetro. And that was cool. And I love Zetro musically. And then now it's flipped around and we don't know why, but I'm looking forward to it. This time Dukes is in time to work on the brand new Exodus record, which will happen at some point. Probably not come out this year, maybe. Probably not, but you never know how fast they can work. Depends on how much is written. And I'll tell you, the impression is even Exodus put a poll up on their X account or Twitter or whatever it is, and they were like, yes or no, how do you feel about Zetro out, Dukes in? And it's like, the comments are 50-50, but the poll is 3-1 in favor of Dukes being back. So at the very least, Dukes a little more brutal, a little more unrelenting delivery compared to Zetro, who's a little more of a snarly singer like Bailoff was. So, and then Dukes always handled the classic material really well. It's very similar to John Bush in Anthrax for me, just a heavier version of the other guy. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm pumped. And then we did the Fearless Forecaster. This is my new favorite thing to do. We did an entire hour on all the predictions of new music coming out. What are the biggest bands going to do? Tony says, I haven't been able to fuck with Exodus for non-musical reasons. Zetro was worse than the rest of the band. Gary is annoying you too. If we're talking about politics, Gary and Tom are the liberal guys in that band. Gary is kind of everywhere lately, maybe a little overexposed. It's better when you don't need to, just because you have an audience doesn't mean you have to use it all the time. So, I mean, in terms of MAGA stuff, man, like I think Dukes and Zetro are about the same. Lee is an arch conservative dude, as is Jackie. Now, I've also spent time around these guys. I've hung out with them, and we had nothing but good times. But at the same time, it's like, I know people are there's some stuff coming up later in the show where it's like personal politics versus the band success. These things do hurt. Sometimes they hurt. Sometimes you can't let it go. We're going to talk about it. But yeah, so we forecasted literally like almost every single band you can think of, the top 100 bands. And if they're not coming out with new music, or they are, we forecasted when they will, when they put out music last, what are they going to do? Some bands are going to just tour this year. So it was a real lot of fun, and it was a very interactive podcast. That'll be on a podcast later. That's on YouTube still also. You can watch after this. It was a lot of fun. Please don't sue me, Lord of the Rings. Also, Kitty's debut album turned 25 years old last week, and I did a whole hour on that. And Mike, my homie, says, talk about it, bro. Come on YouTube or Instagram and comment there, pal. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree 100%. I have many trans metalhead friends, and that is a deal breaker for me in a lot of ways. I wish I really was a lot better off not knowing how people felt about things. It's extremely disappointing when artists that I have been a fan of for like 20 and 30 years just parrot talking points of propaganda on any side. I don't want liberal propaganda also spreading. That's dumb. But it's hella disappointing. It's hella disappointing, bro. I'm with you. I got you. Yeah, Exodus. It's tough. It's real tough. Furries and Zombie is here. Michael is here. Moonstar Lover is here. Thanks for being here. All right. But Kitty, you can fuck with Kitty. Kitty is fucking amazing. And I'm really proud of them. And Spit holds a little special place in my heart. And I really love their last album, Fire. And I'm hoping for more touring and maybe more new music from them at some point. We haven't heard anything yet. And apparently they're going to do they said they're going to do some stuff around Spit. So I don't know if they're going to perform it all, which they have not really ever done. Or I imagine there's going to be a vinyl re-release of Spit. That would be cool. It's kind of the one thing that's not out there in the world is a official Kitty re-release on vinyl. I think they may have done one limited one once, and then there are bootlegs. Try not to get the bootlegs if I can help it. Also, we did a whole thing on the TikTok band, and as I said earlier, TikTok, I believe, is going to try to get saved at the 11th hour and not be banned. But it is entirely possible. It's entirely possible it could go out of existence, but I don't think so. I think it's too lucrative for people and too important for them to totally get rid of it. TikTok is not going to help them cancel it, so they're going to have to fucking cooperate. And other things we did this week include this feature interview by Morgan Evans of Walking Bombs, who's also on our staff. And he interviewed Layla Abdul-Rauf. You might know her from such bands as Vastum and The Bastard Noise, and formerly of Hammers of Misfortune, one of my favorite bands of the Bay Area of all time. And she's got a very prodigious solo career on top of everything else. And it was a really deep and great interview. And speaking of marginalized audiences, she went ham in this interview talking about, some very important communities that she's a part of that are maybe getting harmed or overlooked. So I thought that was really cool. Morgan is a brilliant genius and a very radical political person, much like me. It kind of reminds me of a younger me. When I was just like, this to everybody, fuck you all if you don't agree with me. Now I'm like, you could not agree with me, and a broken clock is wrong twice a day. I'm getting older, and I'm trying to find, as long as people are not horrible, like Tony says in his quote here, as long as people are not absolutely fucking horrible, I try to find a common ground with them, even if they don't agree with me, because I know I can be kooky. So also just a reminder, Ghost Cult has a podcast. This show will be a podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, just look up Ghost Cult Podcast or Ghost Cult Mag Podcast. And we've had some killer exclusive content there. A lot of our live streams end up as bonus episodes there. So feel free to listen. I know you can't always look at my delightful face, but maybe you can listen while you run errands or bone or whatever it is you do. Take long shits, whatever you do. We did a recent podcast interview at Riot Fest with Pixel Grip. A very awesome band you should be paying attention to. That was our good friend and colleague Justice Peterson who did that interview. She also interviewed Jizmac the Gusher. And we got some exclusive backstage behind-the-scenes photos of Gore, like slumped against the porta potty. Jethro is here. Riot Fest, man. I'm looking forward to the Riot Fest announcement. I might try to go this year. We'll see. Riot Fest and Bottle Rock, even though they're not the most always metal things, they definitely ruined me for a good festival going experience. Absolutely ruined me. Once again, just a reminder, we have some affiliate partners. We're affiliated with Lambgoat, the Lambgoat Media Network. When you see ads on ghostcultmag.com, that's from Lambgoat. When we gave away Slayer tickets for their return concert at Riot Fest, that was with Lambgoat. I've been saying Pixel Grip are the second horniest band I've ever seen behind Patriarchy. Yo, Patriarchy is horny. I think the horniest band I have ever seen, the horniest band to fan ratio is Health. Bro, 100% come metal. That's their slogan. I mean, like, fuck. All their songs are about fucking or hoping to fuck or would you fuck me or why won't you fuck me? I mean, you really could boil down almost all their music to that, except a few other things. So, and of course, anything with Chino is, you know, Crosses is extremely horned up, like a teenager with a raging boner that will not go down no matter how much they pull their pud in the bathroom at school. So Lambgoat, check them out. They're the meaner version of Ghost Cult, I like to say. And they, you know, we overlap sometimes on our coverage. Sometimes we have different things. They have different things. Go check them out. And then, of course, you're watching this, except y'all on TikTok. I'm really sorry. StreamYard is your one-stop source for streaming excellence. You have all these cool things that I have, able to read most of the comments, have the cool deck, have the ticker, have the comments on screen, see who's watching where, and comment to them in real time and really have this interactive experience. This is thanks to StreamYard the last year and a half. If you sign up with our link in the description, you get $10 off your subscription, and we get $10 off our next bill. So it's kind of Dutch door action. The more dicks on the dance floor, the better. That's what I say. All right. And then again, I still think this meme is hilarious. You may not agree, but oh well. Moving along. It's time for the news rundown. And as always, every single week, we start the news rundown with a bang, and we started with metal festivals. So, of course, here, I'll blow this up a little bit so you don't have to see my face for a hot minute. Oh, let's go. All right, that's better. I could stay in a little. Let's try this out for a minute. I never do this way. Let's do me in the little box and the big box on the rest of the screen. Fire Aid, the benefit concert for the LA fires, fireaidla.org. Not every band here is an important band for y'all, but Billie Eilish and Phineas, Dave Matthews and John Mayer, Earth, Wind and Fire, fucking awesome. Gracie Abrams, hot right now. I saw her in concert a couple times. Green Day, Gwen Stefani, Jelly Roll, The Homie, Joni Mitchell, who doesn't perform a lot anymore. Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Lil Baby, Pink, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rod Stewart. Please don't sing any Frank Sinatra or Tony Bennett, Rod Stewart, please. Stephen Stills from Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, Stevie Nicks, Sting, Tate McRae, and probably a whole bunch of other artists. That's going to be at the Forum, the Intuit Dome at the Forum on January 30th. I believe NAMM is still happening in LA. I believe the Metal Hall of Fame is happening still. We'll bring that up in a sec. And this Fire Aid concert, it's going to be a pretty big deal. Anywho, not that metal, but I thought it would be worthy to mention. And they use the same font as like Live Aid and Farm Aid. So I thought that was fun. Here's Green Day also headlining Bottle Rock Napa. I may very well go to that Friday. Bottle Rock Napa on Friday has Green Day, Public Enemy, and I think E40. So I might very well go to that one. And Ice Cube, I think, is also that weekend. But Green Day, Justin Timberlake, Noah Kahan. Some other are notable artists: Cage the Elephant, Ice Cube, Sublime, Revolution, Sophie Tucker, Public Enemy, Remy Wolf, E40, Flow Rider, Beach Bunny, The Story So Far, good band, Dope Lemon, Sharon Von Etten, Robbie Krieger, who I thought was retired, G Love and Not Special Sauce, and some other artists. So kind of cool. Like I said, if you want a really cushy, intimate experience for a festival, bottle rock, fancy food, alcohol if you drink it, craft beer, fancy wines, good experiences, watch celebrities and musical artists cook and do cooking demos. It's kind of fun. I had a great time there. I've gone a few times. And Green Day, honestly, if you want to go see Green Day, to go see them by themselves, like almost unaffordable. So actually, this festival would be a cheaper way to go see them, even if you only went the one day. Just to keep it real, 100. Because it's 2 a.m. Bonnaroo, we talked about last week, and I think I predicted that you're going to see some overlap between Bonnaroo, Bottle Rock, and some other festivals, Boston Calling. So Bonnaroo does have Megadeth and does have Queens of the Stone Age and does have a few other artists. So I know it's mostly pop and rap. But again, and ICP, I do continue to confuse Vampires Everywhere with Vampire Weekend. I don't know why this is a problem for me. I'm deeply sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody. Anyway, this is super cool. And I hope I'm saying this correctly. Ant Kristini Fest is in Iceland, and they have announced the exclusive headliner of Fortress. Nice emoji, Anti-Moz Beast. Fortress is the headliner, along with Myrrh, who a lot of people have been talking about on the strength of their recent release. Tony, I bet you checked that release out. I always say this band name incorrectly, and I did not look it up beforehand, so I'm going to say it's Auden, Vampires on a Friday, and Mandarink, who is also like a solo black metal band, and many more black metal. So Icelandic black metal scene is huge. It's like the same 25 guys in 80 bands, but this is a great looking festival. This is their 25th festival, 25th anniversary festival. Holy shit, dude. To do anything this long is impressive. So I'm going to give it up. There's a QR code here on the screen if you want to get it, information on it. And Iceland is on my bucket list. I want to go so bad. Punk in the Park, Arizona has been named. Funny graphic with UFOs and cows. Bad Religion, Pennywise, Face to Face, Strung Out, Casualties, Adolescents, and many, many other bands. Looking kind of cool. Much better than the San Francisco lineup of this fest so far. This traveling fest, one-day festival. Punk in the Park is brought to you by Brouhaha, co-owned by Pennywise, is Jim Lindeberg, and they have craft beer, and they have experiences, and a punk flea market, and punk bands all day, and no overlapping, 2 stages, no overlapping sets. So that's always fun. Last year was a much cooler lineup because they had No Effects and Suicidal in most of these things. So yeah, what's it gonna do? Charlie is here. What up, Charlie? How are you? Post Festival, we mentioned this the last few weeks. They added a bunch of new bands: Converge, Emma Ruth Rundle, This Will Destroy You, Cave In, Pianos Become the Teeth. Tony, this is a festival for you, buddy, and me. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know about the Midwest in July. It's gonna be hot as fuck, and I'm not into it. But I mean, this looks so good. You Infinite has a new album coming out. Respire, Glacier. We premiered the Glacier video for their new song. This looks so cool. I'm gonna see who we have in the Midwest that might want to go to this too. Maybe. A Midwest Metal Fest has announced our homies and yours Casket Robbery. You've seen me in my Casket Robbery shirt. I went to see the band last year for the first time in a long time. Super cool. 3 days at Pierre's, 8 29-25. I believe it's in Toledo, Ohio every year. So very cool. Again, a lot of Midwestern activity happening for the festivals. Again, Green Reefer Fest is also coming up soon, headlined by Resin. Holy shit. Shout out to Grim Reefer Fest. Vans Warped Tour, we are less than 2 weeks away, like a week and a half away from knowing who is playing the 3 Vans Warped Tour festival dates in 2025. I hope it's nobody sucky, just to go back to a point I was making with you earlier, Tony. It's not going to be what it used to be, I'll tell you that. A lot of people are going to be there. It's sold out. All 3 shows are sold out. I think every single level of tickets is sold out. Maybe some people are reselling them. I think there'll be a big name band on every date, and then a whole bunch of smaller mid-level bands and new bands, because there's no way to recreate the magic that was Warped Tour, for better or worse. It's just not possible to recreate a low-cost ticket with all these bands that went on to become the hugest headliners of the last 20 years. Well, they have New Jersey, they have DC, and LA, right? I think that's right. It's more than that. I think nostalgia is a very powerful thing for Gen X and Gen Z. Also, just a reminder, Bloodstock Open Air is definitely going to sell out at some point this spring. Headlined by Trivium, Machine Head, Gojira, Emperor, Ministry, Mastodon, Lacuna Coil, Fear Factory, and Lord of the Lost. Surprising to see that band just explode. Hey, Cat Mom, thanks for passing by. Kingdom Land is here. Thy Enemy Drums are here. What's up? Gloom is here. Jesus Jimenez. So Bloodstock's a festival we cover every single year, so we're pumped for it. Also, Radar Fest we covered last year. This looks fun as fuck. Carpenter Brute, Zealand Order, Normandy, Intervals, Ghost Kid, Pint Glass, Future Palace, Continents, and many more. Waterlines we just reviewed. Really good, fun band. So that's a cool thing too. And then this looks cool. I just got sent this in the email. Loud Women Fest, New York City, 10th of May, 3 to 11. Shy Goodwin, Desert Sharks, Evie Echoes, and the locations. Doris, I know that band. Typhoid Rosie, Sorry Darling, and a few others. More to still come. That looks kind of fun too. And then this was interesting to me, interesting enough to like put the poster in and talk about it. So New Orleans Jazz Festival is one of the greatest and most legendary festivals in the world. And I know that we don't talk a lot about jazz here. I'm a huge jazz nerd. And the top of the bill doesn't look very jazzy. Pearl Jam, Dave Matthews Fan, Luke Combs, Lil Wayne, and The Roots. Whoa. Lenny Kravitz, Casey Musgraves. Except for Lil Wayne, I'd be down with most of that. Maybe not Dave Matthews either. Santana, John Fogerty, Haim, KG Elephant, Laufey, Harry Connick Jr., now some jazzy people, Patti LaBelle, who's a legend, Trombone Shorty, Gladys Knight. Okay, so there's a lot of rock bands that they've never really had before. Babyface, Diana Krall, The Revivalists, Irma Thomas, Branford Marsalis, Kamasai Washington, The Wailers featuring Julian Marley, Big Freedia. I've seen Big Freedia at Bottle Rock. Ledesi sings Nina. It's Nina Simone set by Ledesi. I'm into it. PJ Morton and a bunch of others. So Galactic and Youssou N'Dour. So there's awesome jazz artists way down on the bill, but these rock artists are kind of like dominating things, which is a bit of a surprise. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a bit of a surprise, but whatever they got to do to say, to keep the festival going and make money, because these things cost money. Metal's fantastic music, and it's good to know in its own way. I'm a metal fan, but I think 90% of metal is garbage. Everybody on Reddit and Discord, fuck. Henry Fang 315 is here. All right, that was all the festivals. Now let's breeze through the concert news. We just brought you news about Nine Inch Nails last week winning a Golden Globe for Challengers, which I have on vinyl. And now Nine Inch Nails was going to announce a world tour and new album this last week, but they postponed it due to the fires. But basically the dates started to leak out, so they are indeed coming on tour. There will be a new album. And I'm very excited by this. And we're also getting Tron Ares and the game with Naughty Dog. Yeah, Irma Thomas, right? How about that? And Duke Ellington, yeah, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, Nyko, we should get offline sometimes and just nerd out about jazz. Or if I could find one band to just do a whole jazz podcast with me. I have a minor in musicology. My parents were giant jazz nerds. I lost my fucking parents' record collection a while back, like 10 years ago. And I had all the classics on original vinyl in mint condition because my dad was a fucking music nerd. Brutal, 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 heartbreaking and brutal. But like I love sometimes I just sometimes put on jazz and mellow out. I really need to do more of it. A lot of my Sunday cooking and cleaning is done to uh, sort of bebop jazz. But anyway, word. Pantera kicks off their new tour this week or next week after the weekend with Power Trip and King Parrot. Then they take a month off, 5 weeks off, and then they hook up again with Metallica for another run around the world. El Numero Uno is here. What up? What up? The Dad is back. Hey, The Dad 39. Chris Moran is here. Lydia, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. So, yeah, Pantera news. I predicted in our predictions thing that Pantera is going to put out a live album this year from these last 2 years of touring. Coal Chamber, this is a big surprise. Des Fafar has been very open about his health issues affecting both Coal Chamber and Devil Driver. He has postponed all tour dates of 2025 until Q4 at least. This is several times postponed Fear Factory, Coal Chamber, Twisted tour with Blacklight District. Again, Fear Factory can pivot, and they will talk about it. They can pivot and focus on making their new record and finally recording it with their first new record with their new singer. But the other bands, you lose money. You print merch, you rent buses, you pay for fuel, you have a tour manager. Yeah, I was out of town. I'm sorry, pal. I missed Kerry, which is a bummer, but I couldn't make it back. Wish I could have caught Dino playing with Max. Me too. We did get one of those shows covered. El Numero, I was out of town, and I was sad to miss it, but I couldn't get back to do it. It would have been a big stress for me to try to make it back in time to see the show. Unfortunate for me, but it's all good. So yeah, Dez, get well soon. He gave a very long statement. Nobody wants to cancel this less than him. Music is his whole life, but he's not well enough to do the tour. And that's the whole thing. Like, you don't want him to go do the tour and then never tour again. So I know people are like, what's wrong with him? I don't know. You got to just be a little more patient. A lot of people are going through it lately. And he's legitimately got a physical illness, and they're still not 100% sure what's wrong with him. And his whole family has been through the ringer. And also he lives in the valley. And if the winds change, he could have to evacuate his home. He was telling me in an interview last year about worried about mudslides and stuff like this. And I saw Coal Chamber at Sick New World 2023, and they were so good. And it was almost a band everybody was pumped up to see except for System. The Coal Chamber was the most popular. Coal Chamber and Kitty were the two most popular bands that day outside of System of a Down. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. I never saw, even back in the day, like 25 years ago, that many people singing along to Loco and Big Truck. So people do want Coal Chamber. And I was excited for Coal Chamber and Fear Factory to team up in those tour dates. But hopefully they get it back. And again, here's the Kerry King tour dates. Kicked off last night in San Francisco. Next show is tonight in Spokane. And big extensive tour. And like I said in my show about Exodus, is it possible that Kerry King's solo career is actually going to interfere with Exodus and Death Angel to a very detrimental level? I don't know. I don't think he cares. Not coincidentally, Exodus is also co-managed by Chuck Billy of Testament. Who knows? Who knows what's up? But Kerry King, Municipal Waste, Alien Weaponry. New Alien Weaponry music is out. Municipal Waste has got a whole bunch of stuff going on this year for their 25th anniversary as a band. I'm excited for it. We'll try to get this covered somewhere. I just couldn't get there. Also kicking off soon. I talked about this earlier to Tony. Decapitated, Cryptopsy, Warbringer. I will be at this tour for sure. I put in my request today. I believe I'll be going right around the corner from my house at DNA Lounge. So I'll be there, El Dumero, if you're going to be there. I will absolutely be there, pal. Yep. Also, this is cool. Again, more Pennywise. Pennywise and Millencolin are going to Australia, New Zealand this winter, just next month, less than a month away, a little more than a month away. There's a cool looking tour, fun kind of logos. Millencolin, I always feel, is like a very underrated Canadian punk band that you should know about. I feel like they kind of got overlooked a little in the Warped Tour years. Really smart and cool band. You should be checking out. Good albums, good songs, good song making. We definitely did. There was like a meme thing I shared today on Ghost Cult's Instagram on our stories that was like every single nobody, absolutely nobody, every single people piling onto the mic during Bro Hymn by Pennywise. I thought that was great. I was like, you know what, man, that's legitimate. I did see Pennywise about a year and a half ago. They were fun. Zola Jesus solo piano tour over Europe. Why is this not coming to the USA? Also in February. If you're not familiar with Zola Jesus, you need to get familiar, as I like to say, get acquainted. So fun, so smart, so great. We're really living in magical times if she's doing a solo piano tour. She's usually thought of as an electronic artist. Great voice. Also, the Metal Hall of Fame is now also a charity concert for charity integration for the wildfires. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the experience. Well, word. Sorry if I can't fucking help you. Tony, I haven't decided yet on Decapitated. People have been talking up Lankham who play the same day, but it's sold out. Okay. Which is Decapitated sold out? I thought they were going to be sold out. Yeah, it's a tough call. It's a very tough call. So, Metal Hall of Fame, inducting a lot of cool people. I believe we're going to be there covering it. I heard back this week from the publicist that my team is confirmed to go cover the event and do the red carpet, the black carpet. Yeah, I think Decap is going to sell out. So I don't think you can. Normally, DNA Lounge shows do not sell out. Like I usually see you and it's dead, or not so full till the headline act. I think that show is probably going to sell out. Also, this is kind of fun. The Far Side and Dilated Peoples opening for Cypress Hill with Atmosphere. Atmosphere is a rapper we've covered before. Love Cypress Hill. Cypress Hill's still great. And I would even try to venture to try to cover this. I think this is a one-off, but Cypress Hill is doing all kinds of touring this spring. They are overdue for a record also. This is super cool. I'm always talking up the Punk Rock Museum in Vegas. They're doing a exhibit and oral and visual history with Nathaniel Shannon, who did the St. Vitus Bar book. I'm very sad this place is closed. I know a lot of people never got to go. I lived in Brooklyn during the heyday. I moved to New York right when I moved from New York right when they opened, and I moved back like for quite a whole bunch of shows. So this is rad. If you were thinking of going, I think this is going to go on, I think, for a month. I hope, and I'd love to get back out there to visit and do maybe another video about it or something. We shall see. Turnover announced their Peripheral Vision anniversary tour this week with a bunch of artists opening: Balance and Composure, Citizen, Horse Jumper of Love, Keep, and Tiger's Jaw. Turnover's a good band. I was very surprised at how big they're getting and doing this large of a tour. Phantogram kicked off a new headline tour today of the USA in Vegas. So that is a whole thing. Killer band. Oh, got a patient. Got to catch the rest later. All right, El Dumero. Thank you so much for being here. Much appreciated. Jacob's Ladder is here. Don's Cuddlies is here. Brian Doherty. Damn right, Rebel. Damn right, Rebel Proud. All right. So, yep, that's all the festivals and concerts. It's a very reasonable 1 hour. It is late at night. Thanks for hanging in there with me, everybody. Let us whip through the news. I got a real fun thing for the mailbag, and then I'm going to be out. Metallica, among the many bands donating money to the wildfire relief, they're giving $500,000 through their All Within My Hands charity foundation. I just saw James in the movie The Thicket. If you like westerns like True Grit and other things, I can highly recommend this movie. It was really well acted, directed, shot. James is actually a pretty solid actor in the film. I know he was also in the Ted Bundy movie on Netflix. So he's carving out like a little acting career for himself as a character actor. But yeah, good on Metallica for donating. You know, their roots are in LA, and James is from the LA area, as is Rob Trujillo. So very cool. All right, Gabe. Thanks, bro. Have a good one. Thanks for being here. I know it's late. Ice Nine Kills also raised $10,000 through the sale of a charity shirt for wildfire relief. Pretty cool. Good that they're doing the thing. Thanks so much, Nightgoat. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I'm still back. I remember Ice Nine Kills when they were kind of like a terrible ska band. So Mark Harnbeck is here also. What up? What up? So yeah, I don't know. Their success baffles me, but you know, I guess they're solid. I don't see how they're appreciably better than Motionless in White or a bunch of other bands just like them, but whatever. Ozzy this week has 2 new songs. You see Ozzy here with certain members of his solo band. Ozzy has 2 new songs in the digital top 5. It's very unusual because usually legacy artists don't have a song boomerang back, but on the strength, I believe, of Ozzy getting inducted as a solo artist into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last fall, and now that Hall of Fame performance and induction ceremony hitting Max and Hulu this week or last week has catapulted both Crazy Train and I believe Mama I'm Coming Home into the top 5. Crazy talk. Nightgoat, not a fan. Got you, bro. Also, Clown from Slipknot cannot stop talking to the press and hyping up Look Outside Your Window and new Slipknot music and all the things going on with the band. They have a lot of stuff going on. They got Knotfest Australia this year. And in an interview this week, Clown said, "Oh, you know, it's weird that Modern Drummer has never talked to me about how well I play the keg." Seen here, shot by our own Bill Maudsley in the UK recently, with his keg and his, his tom drums. Hey, Clown, nobody, you're a visionary creative. You helped co-found Slipknot. You conceived their album artwork and music videos and the jumpsuits and masks. Nobody is coming to see Slipknot to hear Clown play the kettle drum, bro. The beer keg. Nobody. I don't think so. I mean, he's fun. He's part of the thing, the whole thing. But like, do you really love Clown that much? I don't, bro. Anyway, drop this fucking record already and give us some more details about the next record. That's what I want. But I guess he's become very eccentric in this age. Puscifer has been teasing that they have a new album probably coming in the fall of 2025. We already know the Sasanta 2 tour is coming soon. Tool in the Sand is coming soon. Puscifer will play those things. And Puscifer will play the Sasanta tour. Tool will play Tool in the Sand. And new Puscifer music on the way. And probably other Puscifer live streams and things like that on Puscifer TV. John Kane is here. What's up, John? Thanks for being back. Tim Lambesis, man, I don't want to keep talking about this. He was on a podcast this week, and he talked about his feelings and how his whole band quit on him and how bad he feels. Oh, boy. I don't know, man. It's real tough. We did an interview with Tim last year that I thought went very well, and he gave we didn't get too much into the personal stuff, but he expressed, some growth and seemed like some self-awareness about everything that happened and why he's in the position he's in, and then everything imploded. I feel bad if he legitimately is a broken dude and that he's had a bad time. But at the same time, you got to make better choices or learn from your mistakes, my boy. You got to, my buddy. You got to. All right, see what happens. Also, Snot is on the verge of playing their first show with their new vocalist, and they announced today, right before I recorded this, they are crash. They are going to live stream the entire first show back on Instagram. So we'll be looking out for that and see who the singer is. Supposedly not a very well-known person. The Haunted has been dropping stuff from the studio. They're already recording their brand new album. We discussed it many times after Doom Official is here. We discussed many times that At the Gates is on hiatus while The Haunted comes back. I don't know if Thomas Lindberg is going to do some stuff in the meantime, but get pumped for new Haunted. Haunted, a definite influence on my new band, by the way. Absolutely an influence on me. Also, we mentioned Fear Factory on tour this summer. Fear Factory is going to be playing Demanufacture, which is turning 30. And now that the Cold Chamber tour is canceled with them, they are going to focus on recording the album this winter and spring. So that's cool. Maybe we'll get that Fear Factory record late in the year instead of next year. I want it. Here's Architects. They dropped a new single. We're going to get an announcement of a new album any second now. Pretty excited. We know that Josh Middleton left the group. Don't know if they're going to replace him. But this is an incredible shot of Architects, by the way. I believe also by Bill Bardsley of the UK. Fantastic stuff. Year of the Cobra announced a new album today. Their self-titled one coming soon from Prophecy Productions, killer band from the Pacific Northwest, two-piece sludge doom band. I'm so big on them and can't wait to see them again. And I'm hoping Ghost Cult will get an interview with them. Also, this was a bit of a bummer today. If you like black metal, Norwegian black metal legends Nordjvel have decided to go on indefinite hiatus due to unforeseen circumstances. So that is very sad to me that they have mailed it in and called it a day. No touring, no tour dates, no festivals, which includes Maryland Death Fest, which they were going to come over for, which probably meant they were going to do either an opening run or a headline run for another band on Maryland Death Fest that's bigger than them. So that is an absolute bummer. But no more Nordjvel for the first time. They've been around since 2016 as a band, their first release. So I'm pretty sad about that. If you like high quality black metal that's not sketchy. Because I do. Also, Whitechapel announced a new record today, dropped a new single or yesterday, and that's pretty exciting. They haven't had a new record for a while. They took a lot of risks on their last record, so we'll see if this one is more straight ahead and a return to form. Not sure. Not sure what they're doing yet. Luis Nunez is here, a typical bowler. That Blondie is here, that blonde by. Can't read these little words. TikTok, do better with the fonts. Do better with the fonts, yo. Do better with the fonts. El Nino, wow. I did not have this on my bucket list for El Nino to be having so much fucking drama. I'm tempted to share the screen and just read this off the screen. This is some crazy shit. Let's see if I can get the window. To the window, to the wall. Here we go. Let's do this so everybody can see it. Let's go here. Let's do that. And let's do the full screen. Just in case you want to pause it. Oops. Pause it and read it. Where did my screen go? Here we go. No. I blew it. All right. This is some wild shit. I got to be honest with you. No. And of course, this thing ain't cooperating. There it is. Sorry about that. Man, noisy as fuck. Garbage pickup, 2:36 a.m. San Francisco. So El Nino makes a post a couple weeks, last week. Their former singer Marcus Leal, also from Shattered Sun and some other bands, he had announced last fall that he was leaving El Nino. They went on tour with Tommy Vext as their fill-in vocalist, And Marcus said, oh, we recorded 2 EPs. They're never going to come out. I'm disappointed. So he started talking about it again last week, that these records are probably never going to come out, but they should. So Jess De Hoyos, one of the guitar players of El Nino, goes on the El Nino Facebook, and this thing blew up. I might do a live stream on it tomorrow just to talk about how to go about these things. But Jess says, every claim that this puto has made can be attributed to personal gain. If he gave AF about the fans, releasing the albums would be irrelevant because the fans pre-ordered the record and were refunded. Nah, he wants the record to be released because it would be released by a band that's bigger than anything he's ever been a part of, and it helps his current bands have any kind of press. He's never been an original member of any of the bands that have gained any sort of traction. This MF is a serial fill-in. As far as why them 15-year friendships and no more, it's because he used us to leverage money out of the boss without our consent. I assume he means Dave Shivari, the boss, or the record label boss, and without us even knowing about it while putting targets on all our backs. That aside, he knew we had a brother coming out of rehab for alcoholism just before the upcoming tour, and he knew the same brother was told if he didn't stop drinking, he would die in months. The rest of us agreed to do a sober run to give him a fighting chance, and the MF refused to go 4 weeks without drinking to help a brother. And he goes on and on. So, yeah, fuck. And then he talks about the unreleased material, some of it being embarrassing vocally. The other songs were written and tracked by Dave and the producer before I joined the band. If this MF is as good as he claims, why does he need to be associated with El Nino to promote his former singer of El Nino? Rough. Very fucking rough, yo. Like, very, very rough to do. Very rough to do to assassinate somebody's character on the internet. But maybe it's deserved. I don't know. Shitty, though. Shitty and hard. Shitty and hard. Just going to tell you. So, yeah, Marcus, I've interviewed him for Shattered Sun. I thought he was a cool guy. We met in person. He was really nice, but a lot of drama following this guy. El Nino, just to update you, is going to go on tour. I believe Tommy Vex is going to continue to be their singer for the time being, and they have a new record deal to announce and a new record they're going to release later this year. So I don't know if Tommy is coming in permanently or not. Tommy had been taking a break for his mental health issues. Down is in the studio recording their first record in quite some time, 12 years. Not sure if we're getting a full album or an EP. I believe Kirk Winstein said their preference is for a full album. Very cool. Skunk and Nancy released a new single and have a new album announced. Very exciting. British rock royalty, heavy rock royalty from the last 35 years. Super cool band. Iconic front person. Great artists. I'm into it. We've been covering them for a long time. Yeah, down, Nyko. I'm pumped for it. It's also the 30th anniversary of NOLA, the album. So that's also a thing. This is 200 Stab Wounds if you like death metal. They just dropped 2 snippets of new music. Don't know if it's going to be for a new EP, a new album, but they were like, yo, check it out. 2 new songs. And it's just like, sounds amazing. Great death metal. So very exciting if you like that band and a lot of underground. This is going to be the year where another banner year for underground death metal, I suspect. This surprised me. This is Guiltless. We interviewed this band last year. This is sort of a low-key super group of dudes this is out on New Rot Recordings. This features Sasha Dunable of Intronaut and Dunable Guitars, Generation of Vipers, Josh from A Storm of Light, who we talked to, Battle of Mice members. So really good band. They have announced their full-length debut, and they have an EP out, and they're also going to do, I believe, some touring. So they're doing Prepare the Ground, which I've been hearing a lot about in Toronto and being told about a lot. What is my favorite Down album? Well, it would be NOLA, would be the first one, but I'm a big fan of Down 2 also. But yeah, how can you not like Down? NOLA is just literally all great songs, no filler. Bruce is here. What up, Bruce? Mona's here. Hi, Mona. Yeah, man. Enrique is here. Noah is here. Hopefully I said that correctly. Brett and Wesley also. Welcome. Just finishing up the news, and then we're going to go to bed. Because I'm tired as fuck. This is Death Rattle. New England's Death Rattle dropped a new single, and they're putting out a new album. Killer band. Death Rattle, obvious Pantera reference there. Speaking of down. Cool guys. They jumped into one of our live streams this week and gave us some dap, which I appreciated. It was super nice. Also, Lacuna Coil dropped the new single Gravity. Their upcoming new album is coming soon. I believe Ghost Cult will have an interview with one of the members of Lacuna Coil for that. We're working on arranging that now. Last year, they celebrated 20 years of Comalies, which is still their biggest record. We'll see if that experience touring and re-recording that album will influence the new music. It sounds like Lacuna Coil. And then they have this big tour with Machine Head coming up soon. So very cool. This is a surprise. I didn't have this on my bucket list. So I don't know, man. This is another situation where I don't know if it's disappointing or what is the whole story. So this is Connie from CU Space Cowboy, kind of a metalcore, genty, progressive metal, post-hardcore band. And Connie had been making cryptic social media posts like, I think I'm going to leave the band. They're not giving me a choice. I've been coming at them for some time about some issues I'm having. And so they were tapped to open for Dance Gavin Dance. We know that Dance Gavin Dance had a huge trigger warning, issue with their former Clean singer, Tillian Pearson, who is now out of the band. They did allow him to come back into the band after a period of therapy and hiatus. He came back in, then he left again permanently. Maybe people see that as the band co-signing his behavior. The band made many statements distancing themselves from Tillian before and when he came back in. Like, we're not just bringing him back in. He's got to make these, he's working on himself. He's got to make strides and changes to not do these things ever again. And then he left again. So Connie is saying, I guess CU Space Cowboy has been a band that's always supposed to be like a safe space for people and have kicked off other bands for their shitty and shady and sketchy behavior that they didn't like. Specifically Roman Candle, we've heard stories about due to their allegations. So, people are commenting on social media, it's, about the band, and the record label brought up some issues that they might have done differently in the past. It's weird. It's very vague posting. It's not a direct allegation. So Connie said in her post, like, believe me, there's no part of me as an individual that backs this either in terms of the backlash and touring with Dance Gavin Dance, and that she might just bounce from the band. Just not giving us a lot of information here. And then some other nonsense. Ronnie Radke needed to feel like he needed to get involved. And, he loves anybody that's getting canceled or threatening cancel culture. He loves to stick his dumb face in there. Nobody asked for you, bro. And you're not, like, this is not a band for you to be part of, or you're not going to help them. He's going to go on tour with them and open for Dance Gavin Dance. Like, bro, just stay put. But anyway, these are what is permissible, what is forgivable. Can we ever forgive people who make mistakes? Can we let a band go forward after they've kicked out a problematic band member? I say yes, but a lot of people say no. So good luck to Connie. We're going to continue to follow the story. Not a fun story to cover, but hope see you, Space Cowboy. I've seen them before. I thought they were good. Don't want them to go away. Firmom is here. Phenom is here. Benjamin is here. COC is also recording their new album, their first in a long time without bassist Mike Dean, one of my heroes. That's a bummer, but they are going forward in their own way, and I believe we will get a COC record in quarter 3 or 4. from their current label, Nuclear Blast Records. All right, that's all the news that's fit to discuss. Let's quickly go through the New Music Friday for this week. Another big week of releases as we get deeper into January. And let's just read off some of them this week. Idola, let's see. Some of the bigger ones, Idola with Men. Speaking of Dance Gavin Dance members, we have an interview coming up with Idola, by the way. It was pretty interesting. Godzillionaire for some stoner doom on Ripple Music. Gravedigger, Bone Collector on Roar / Raining Phoenix Music for some heavy metal, power metal. Huxcapel for some creepy black metal. Hazard for some awesome crossover thrash on M Theory Audio. Hierarchies, self-titled, for some technical death metal. Also Landfall for some progressive rock on Frontiers SRL. Two bands that sound alike, Necro Death for some black and thrash, and Necrotech for some industrial metal. Two different bands. Nesdom on Zovia Records for some alternative metal. Onerophagus for some death doom on Personal Records. Sarcator, this is a cool band I'm getting big on. Sarcator is on Century Media, Swarming Angels and Flies for some thrash. Soft Vein for some dark wave on one of my personal favorites, Artifact Records, home of Kylan Mikla and a few other bands. Thy Kingdom Will Burn for some melodic death metal on Scarlet Records. Vertex for some mathcore on Le Cri du Charbon Records. And Vitriolic for some black and thrash, Black Steel Vengeance on Dying Victims Productions. And of course, our friend Gabe and Anti Moz Beast with his new album as well. So very exciting week for a lot of metal releases. And now finally, it is time for the mailbag, and we're just going to do that now. The mailbag. So I don't know if you guys have ever been to, I love museums. I don't know if you love museums. I love museums. And we go to a lot of museums and we review sometimes museum exhibits. They're not always about metal. But while I was pet sitting this week, my homie, Rebecca, went to New York City, and she went to the Museum of Natural History, one of my favorite places. I haven't been in a long time. I visited New York about a year and a half ago, and I would like to get back there. And when I go back, I will go to the Museum of Natural History because I love that place. I love planetariums, and I love natural history and museums. I went to the La Brea Tar Pits when I went to L.A. a while back. It was pretty great. And Rebecca went to the Museum of Natural History. They have everybody knows they have a huge dinosaur bones exhibit. And they have a brand new Stegosaurus exhibit. And she brought me back this awesome T-Rex magnet that says hangry, because I use that phrase a lot. And I'm kind of like a human T-Rex with my T-Rex little arms. So I thought this was fun, a fun souvenir from my home. And I checked a bunch of records while I was away, and I got some books that I brought home with me that are huge and dope that are now on the bookshelf in the other room. But yeah, it's been a very healing and relaxing, peaceful week. I listened to a lot of music. I did some ghost cult stuff, and now I'm back home in time for the weekend. So thanks everybody who's been watching. You all rule. It's going to be buckle up. It's going to be tough out there. For the time being, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of crazy. If you're having struggles and problems, our DMs are always open. Please get at us and reach out. You are not alone. I know I'm not alone. You're not alone either. And as we say every juncture, we say at this juncture every week, I'm so tired. It's 3 a.m. I'm never on this late. As we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and stay as metal as humanly possible. And on the way out, I'm going to dance a jig as always. I'll see you next week. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever. Peace, yo.